Hey guys, it's Melissa here from melissaoatman.com. Welcome to another episode of Awaken Your Inner Awesomeness, the weekly podcast devoted to all things spirituality and self-improvement. I am so delighted you're here with me today because we're going to be talking about some simple tips for releasing negative energy. If you are like me, you have been feeling the energies lately and how heavy they are. We have been going through massive shifts. If you follow me at all on TikTok or on my YouTube channel, you've seen my readings and you've seen how crazy all of that energy is. What I think is super important right now is to get grounded and to release any negative energy you may be holding on to. We tend to pick that up from going about our day and seeing things we don't like, hearing things we don't like. And we know there's a lot of that going on right now. So we're going to be talking about ways that you can easily release negative energy so that you can feel better, you can raise your vibration, and you can manifest the things you really want to see in your life, not all of this negative stuff that we're constantly seeing in front of us. But before we get started with today's episode, I want to remind you that you can follow me now on New Reality TV. There you will see videos of my interviews that I have done that have not appeared on my podcast channel. And there are also videos that I've created where it's just myself and I talk about different things, like I talk about my spiritual awakening. So go check that out at New Reality TV. All right, let's get back to the topic at hand, which I think is so super important, and that is, how do you release negative energy? Let's face it. We are living in a society right now that really wants us to give in to fear. It's everywhere. Fear you're not going to have enough, you're not going to be enough, fear that things are not going to be stable. And I want to, first of all, reassure you that everything will be okay. I have gotten that message clear from my guides that everything will be okay. It's going to look crazy, it's going to feel crazy, but it is going to be okay. But how do we anchor into that knowing and the trusting and releasing all of that fear? That's what we're going to talk about today. What is happening right now is that we are ushering in divine feminine energy. We're moving out the patriarchy, which was no longer working, and we could see that. It wasn't working anymore. In order to do that, we have to get rid of what isn't working. And that's what's happening in front of our faces. But it seems scary because it just feels like everything is toppling. And it goes against everything we've believed, we're taught, that we know. And that's scary. Change is scary. It's happening for a reason, because the divine energy, the divine feminine, is coming in so that we can rebuild. And if you think about the saying, build back better, I mean, that really is what's happening. We're trying to build a better tomorrow for all of our generations to come and for ourselves. But that means we have to topple everything else that isn't working. And think about in your own life when you've gone through situations where you were rebuilding yourself. I know in my own personal life, when I wanted things to be better, I had to let go of what wasn't working, and it had to topple, and it usually did so in such a spectacular way that it terrified me, and I didn't understand what was happening. But later, after I picked myself back up and I put things back together, I realized it was making me stronger and a better person, and it allowed for me to have space for better things to come in. And that's exactly what we're doing on a global scale, but it just feels really ugly and scary right now. But I want to reassure you that you're right where you're supposed to be, and everything is working out, even if you don't think it is. It is. So how do we release some of that negative energy? Because we can't allow the fear to overcome us. When we allow fear to run the show, all kinds of things happen that we don't want. And we tend to make decisions based in fear rather than in love, and that's not always a good thing either. So here are some tips for how to release negative energy. First of all, I want you to focus on the present, not the future, because when we try to focus on what's going to happen in the future, we can overwhelm ourselves, we can increase our anxiety, and anxiety levels are already through the roof right now. In fact, I talked to my daughter yesterday and she said, Mom, I have so much anxiety. And I know it's because of everything that's going on around her. So we just try to talk about some ways to work through that. One of the easiest ways is to be present and to focus on gratitude. What are some things that you're seeing in front of you right now that you're grateful for? And there's always something. I had a warm bed to sleep in. I had food to eat today. I had clean air to breathe. They could be simple things, but we need to focus on seeing what it is we already have and being grateful for that, because the more you're grateful for things, the more things you see that you're grateful for. When you shift your focus, instead of, and it's true, sometimes I have to take a break from social media because it just overwhelms me. But if you shift your focus for a little bit, you're going to shift your attitude. It will help, I promise. So practice gratitude, whether you use a guided meditation for gratitude, you write in a journal and just list the things you're grateful for, but it can even be something as simple as I'm going to stop right now and look around and find things that I'm grateful for. I'm really grateful that I had heat today because, working in a school, we didn't have heat in my classroom and the classroom next door for a couple of days. Something as little as that makes me grateful. I'm glad I have heat today. It's nice. What are you grateful for? What are you seeing around you? The next thing you can do is what they call earthing, because being out in nature is very grounding. And I know that some of you are in areas where it's not nice out yet. I'm in one of those areas where we're headed in that direction. It's going to be in the 60s this week, but it was 0 and like 5 degrees last week, which is one of the things that's so great about living in the Midwest is the weather changes. It's like if you don't like the weather, just wait 5 minutes, it's going to change. But if you can go outside in nature, go out in nature. Even if it's snowing, but the sun is shining through a little bit, go and get that sunshine on your face. Putting your feet in the grass or even just looking outside at nature can sometimes be so healing and grounding. Another thing that I really like is to just listen to music. Music to me is so incredibly healing, and moving your body is incredibly healing too. So dancing to your favorite music, but even if you're just listening to it, there's something about the tones, and there have actually been scientific studies that show that music is very healing and that the tones and the vibrations in the music can help to heal the body. So find the music that you love. And you know what? I do think words matter. So I try to find a song that has positive and uplifting messages within the song itself. One of the ones that I always would listen to was Shania Twain's Life's About to Get Good, because the lyrics, life is about to get good, and we have to believe that it is about to get good. Things are going to happen that are going to be wonderful, and we're not going to believe what our life looks like 6 months from now. So find some sort of uplifting music that you can either dance to or even just listen to. I know some people don't like to dance. This isn't a punishment. It's supposed to be something you like doing. So if dancing isn't for you, don't worry about it. But listen to something upbeat. Another thing, if you like to take baths, which I always do in the evening, taking a warm bath with Epsom salt and even some essential oils, and lavender and peppermint are always good and soothing. It helps to relax the muscles. It helps to relax from the day. I always usually have music on when I'm listening or when I'm taking the bath too. So you can find the solfeggio tones on YouTube, which are healing. Those are healing vibes in the music. Or you can simply just listen to something relaxing that you like. This is all about pampering you. So make this something that you enjoy, because it is all about you. Self-care is what it says. It's self, right? Put yourself first for once. Another thing that I really like doing too is to use affirmations and mantras. These are things that can kind of help us shift that record that gets stuck in our head. The ones you keep telling yourself over and over and over again. Well, you can rewrite that by simply picking a script that feels good to you. There's so many affirmations out there, but think about what it is that keeps running through your head. What is it? Is it a fear of not having enough, a fear of not having enough financially, or not having love, or what is it? rewrite that script in your mind so that you're telling yourself, I do have these things. Because one of the things about manifesting, and it's not that we're trying to be ignorant and saying, I don't have this thing in front of me, but I'm telling myself I do. If you've been on that negative track for so long, this might feel like you're faking it, and I understand. But according to the law of attraction, it only works if we believe that we already have the thing, if it's already ours. Because if we believe we're born worthy, it is already ours. And it's just about becoming a vibrational match for the thing that we want. So maybe having a mantra to try to shift that, I'm worried that this is not going to happen, to shift that to, I know that this is coming, this is happening, I deserve this. Whatever it is that fits best for you. Because I don't know what your worries are right now. We're all so very different. Some of you may be worrying about your finances. Some of you, again, might be about love. Some of you, it might be about your children's safety. I mean, we worry about so many different things. Maybe you're worried about the country. Try writing a mantra for yourself that you can tell yourself over and over again that helps you feel better about things. That life's about to get good, I use as a mantra too. I just tell myself that. Life's about to get good, and I hear the song in my head, and it makes me feel excited and uplifted, like, yes, something is coming, I know it. The other thing that, if you're not a bath person, maybe you like to take showers, you could do a shower meditation to help you rinse away all of that negativity. And what you do when you do the shower meditation is essentially just prepare for your shower like you normally would. And when you're in the shower, take a moment, close your eyes, take a few deep breaths in and out, and imagine that the water that's coming out of the shower head is actually rays of light, of golden light that come out of the shower head and wash over you. And as this light is washing over you, it's washing away any fear, any negativity, anything you've picked up on that isn't yours. And visualize that in your mind's eye, all of that beautiful golden light falling all over you, over throughout your body, and washing away down the drain. I even sometimes physically try to imagine this black, dark, gray, whatever color works best for you, energy that drains into the floor and leaves my body. Breathing is really important too. Just the act of being mindful and stopping and taking some deep breaths is really important, because we get stuck in that fight or flight or freeze mode and we're paralyzed. Like, we can't do anything. We just get stuck there. So doing things that can reset your nervous system is important. Breathing is a good way to do that. Stopping and, again, being mindful of being present and taking deep breaths, and tell yourself, I'm safe, I'm safe, I'm safe, because you are. It's our brains that try to tell us we're not safe, because that's the whole job of the brain sometimes, is to keep us safe. And it did a great job when we were younger, but now sometimes it overreacts to things. We get overstimulated, and then it's hard for us to calm down again. So doing these things like resetting the nervous system is a great way to get back into your body, because really you're into your head. We want to come from a more heart-centered place rather than brain-centered sometimes. So getting back into that space is important. Gentle movements are a great way to do that too. So stretching. There's a lot of somatic exercises that you can do that help to release some of that stress from your body and some of the trauma that you've been holding on to. I've seen on YouTube some people have a few quick somatic poses that you can do. It reminds me a little bit of yoga, but there's a little more movement to it, and it can help you to release some of that. So maybe check out doing some somatic movements to see if that helps you at all. And as with anything, I'm giving you a list of a bunch of things to try. If you try something and you're like, that did not help me at all, I don't know what, she's crazy, I don't know what she's talking about, I don't even like that, don't worry about it. Let it go. You've got to find what works for you. The thing about life is this is not a one-size-fits-all. We are all so unique. Our personalities are unique. Our bodies are unique. we're not all going to be impacted the same way by different activities. So find what works for you and just don't worry about the rest. One of the things that I think is super helpful is going for a walk. And if you can go for a walk outside, it's even better if the weather cooperates. But walking is a great way to clear your head. And especially if you can combine that with listening to a podcast or listening to those affirmations or maybe listening to some uplifting music. It's a great way to we get out all of that energy that's just kind of stuck there in our bodies. I like to physically clear my space too. And there are a couple of ways to do that. Number one is decluttering. And I know you're going to roll your eyes when you hear me say that because you don't like to clean, and I get it because I don't either. But honestly, I am very proud of myself because this weekend I went through and I cleaned my son's room out, and it was a mess. It was a nightmare disaster mess because he just left everything, and my sister and I had tried to go through and clean things up. And when he came back to my house, he wanted to find something. So I went through and made it a bigger mess. And I was like, oh my goodness, just did that work? But it still wasn't clean. And this weekend I thought, okay, you know what? I'm tired of looking at it. I know I need to do it. I just need to get motivated. So I did. I went in there. I hauled several bags down into a corner of the basement so he could go and look through what he wanted to save and threw everything else out. I felt so great doing that, and it just makes a difference with the space in the home. You're clearing up so much free energy in your space. So declutter if you need to, and you don't have to do everything all at once. Pick a corner, pick a shelf, pick a drawer, just start small. Another way to clear your space is through burning Palo Santo or white sage. You'll want to burn it and walk through the house, and you sort of just wave it around so that it floats upward. And I usually just say, clear this space, clear me, clear this space of any negative energy. So there's also smudge sprays that you can use. They do the same kind of thing. Some people just like to use incense or to burn, not burn, but rather, they're the essential oils that you can also use in a diffuser. It doesn't matter. Again, it's totally up to you. I don't think there's a right or wrong way. I think it's whatever feels best to you. But you can either burn the Palo Santo, the white sage, use a diffuser, you can use the smudge spray, you can even just burn the incense. But whatever you have and feels great to you, just go around and clear your space. I think the last thing that I would say is good for balancing that energy would be to do an energy clearing. And there's a couple of ways you can do that. You can do a guided meditation, and there are many on YouTube, and I think I have a few on my YouTube channel, or you can actually book a Reiki session with a professional. It's great for clearing that energy that gets stuck. It happens to all of us. I mean, we pick up on so many things. And think about it. Think about when you had a conversation with someone and you had an argument. After you left that argument, you didn't just all of a sudden feel better. You probably felt worse, and you felt bad for days after it because that lingers with you. That energy stays with you. So all of the things we see, hear, feel, that lingers with us for a long time. So you need to release it. And one of the ways you can do that is through guided meditations or through energy healing. I think those are equally beneficial. And there are other healing modalities out there too. Again, pick what is best for you and what works for you. And there are other grounding techniques too and other ways to really get balance. But I think those are some really quick, easy things that you can do to try to get yourself back on track. And if you're interested in learning more things, go check out my channel. I have other podcast episodes. I have YouTube videos, all kinds of things out there for you to help you kind of get grounded and get more into a higher vibration, because it doesn't feel good to be in that negative space. It doesn't. And we want to feel good, and you should feel good. That's your birthright. We came here for that. So I wanted to pull a few cards for you before we left today. And the first one that came out is release your expectations and stay open. I think a lot of the reason that we get upset and disappointed in life is that we put too many expectations on things and we're not open to how the universe wants to bring us something. So if something hasn't come in for you, be open to the universe bringing it in the way that it wants to. And the next card that came out says, no need to worry. So the universe is telling you, you don't need to worry. We're taking care of things. We're helping you out. The next card that said, you're not doing anything wrong. Go easy on yourself. Okay, so stop beating yourself up. You're not doing anything wrong. We're all here learning. So you need to let go of attachments to anything. The next card was let go of detachment. Let go, detachment. Give the universe space to work on your behalf. We try to control things so much, and that I think is the cause of so much of our worry and our frustration and our fear. If there isn't anything more that you can physically do about something, then let it go and let God. Give it over to the universe, surrender it to the universe, and ask for help and be open to what comes in. Sometimes in the toughest times of my life, I had to surrender in order for the universe to step in and really make beautiful things out of what I thought was a mess. So be open to that. Your next card is keep doing what you're doing. Step by step, it will eventually make sense. And lastly, you have intuition. Follow it, listen, it is on point. So these are all signs that the universe is telling you you're on the right path. Don't doubt yourself. Keep going. Listen to your intuition. Release any expectations. Let go and detach. Allow the universe space to come in and work with you. You're not doing anything wrong, and there's no need to worry. Everything is working out perfectly. And I love that message. And if we just hold on to that, that can even apply with what's happening in the world today. All right, so I hope that that gives you some sort of sense of peace, and I hope you take care of yourself because you are worth it. You deserve the absolute best. I am sending you so much love and light. If you want to work with me, I offer healing sessions. I also offer card readings. I do hour sessions. I have online courses. I have my books. Everything is available on my website, melissaoatman.com. Just jump on there and take a look at what I offer. If you'd like a little more clarity or would like to ask, what I think would be best for you, reach out to me. My email is there, and I check my email every day. I would love to work with you. So all you have to do is you can purchase a session online and then email me, and we will book it. I like to personally book my sessions and not use an automated program. That way we can get the best time for you. I hope that you have an amazing week. Keep your chin up. Things are getting good. You have beautiful things coming. Believe that. I am sending you so much love and light. I hope you have an amazing day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, guys.